watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Monday, August 19th. Good evening, I'm Chris Palermo. Here's what's happening. A structure fire occurred over the weekend, engulfing an entire property in flames and black smoke. News 25 spoke with Fire Chief Scott Lewis and Sheriff Joe McGill for the details.
Just before noon yesterday, Pahrump Fire Rescue is dispatched for a report of an unknown type fire in around the 1100 block of Rixu. As crews were responding, they observed a large dark-colored smoke column developing, which clearly and quickly turned into a very large dark-colored plume. Engine 5, which is our closest station out of Station 5, arrived within minutes of the initial dispatch and confirmed not an undetermined type fire, but multiple structures and other personal property stored on a particular parcel. That was a well-developed fire that was quickly spreading due to wind-driven conditions and an overabundance of fuel load. The fire was extending beyond the property of origin onto neighboring properties in just about every direction and also crossed over a road to the north. Crews quickly arrived and after it was retoned as a structure assignment and went into a defensive exterior objective. Therefore, the crews determined as well that there weren't hydrants in the immediate area, so we had to use our water tenders to shuttle the water back and forth to the engines that were operating on scene. Due to the advanced fire conditions and rapidly deteriorating conditions, including the spread of the fire, we requested a second alarm assignment, which brought NNSS and also Amargosa Volunteer Fire Department. Amargosa covered our stations for additional assignments. NNSS originally came directly to the scene and assisted with suppression. We then later moved Amargosa up to the scene as well, and they assisted our firefighters with overhaul and further suppression. The initial reports is that we may have been looking at an MCI, which was dictated by the Sheriff's Office. In fact, our investigation revealed that there were no persons trapped and that there were no injuries sustained in this large fire event. The smoke column and the 30-40 foot flame lengths could be viewed throughout the valley. It was a highly dynamic, very impressive appearing fire. It had a lot of dangerous inherent problems, including exploding vessels, and the amount of personal property and number of structures and vehicles placed on this parcel created significant challenges for us. However, within approximately an hour and 30 minutes, the fire was placed under control. This also included a spreading fire just directly to the north from embers that were being launched through the winds, and also a large dust devil that came right through the middle of the incident just after the height of the fire, which then extended to the neighboring property and ignited a Conex container. That fire and a small trailer were also extinguished in quick fashion. And again, therefore, the entire incident was placed under control in approximately an hour and 30 minutes after arrival. We're in the investigative phase. The Deputy State Fire Marshal's Office has been requested. They arrived yesterday and have been investigating. An arduous task at best. There is so much material on the property, and so we're reviewing some drone footage that was shot, as well as our additional photographs to try and get an early observation of what the fire looked like just before fire department arrival. Again, so we'll keep you posted, and we anticipate that this will be a while before, and it actually may be undetermined after all is said and done due to the extent of the damage. But we're going to do a real good job with the State Fire Marshal's Office and do our best to determine exactly what caused that fire yesterday.
More news now. A two-vehicle accident happened earlier today, resulting in 2 people being sent to the hospital and both cars destroyed. Rory Rosell has the details.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
Earlier today, August 19th, a two-vehicle collision occurred just after 11 a.m. at the intersection of Bell Vista and Blagg Road, leaving 2 individuals injured and prompting a swift response from emergency services. According to witnesses at the scene, a white Chevy Tahoe was traveling west on Bell Vista when it failed to yield to a stop sign at Blagg Road. The Tahoe collided forcefully with the driver's side door of a white Chevy Silverado, resulting in damage to both vehicles. First responders from the Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were quickly on the scene to assess those who were involved in the crash. The driver of the Silverado was reported to be trapped inside of the mangled vehicle. Firefighters were able to remove the driver from the vehicle, and it was later reported that the driver had suffered substantial injuries. Both the driver of the Silverado and the passenger in the Tahoe were transported to Desert View Hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Their conditions have not yet been disclosed, but authorities indicate that they are expected to recover. Both vehicles sustained major damage, and this accident serves as a reminder of the importance of adhering to traffic signals and signs at intersections.
And the murder trial involving Robert Tellis continues, and here is News 25 reporter Eva Parducci with the details.
Today marks the 4th day of the murder trial for Robert Tellis, a former Las Vegas public administrator charged with the September 2022 killing of investigative reporter Jeff German. Taylor Tolliver, a detective with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department in Criminal Intelligence, testified regarding her surveillance of Tellis. She reported that Tellis was observed washing the exterior of his red Yukon SUV and installing security cameras at his residence on September 6, 2022, 4 days after the death of Jeff German. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department crime scene analyst Christy Baxter took the stand. She described her role of impounding evidence from German's home and photographing Tellis' office. The homicide unit also seized Tellis' computer as part of the investigation. Matthew Hovanek, a digital forensics expert with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Commission, analyzed the cell phone of murder suspect Tellis. The investigation revealed that Tellis had searched for Jeff German Las Vegas 25 times during June 2022, 3 months before German's death, and continued searching for what read as Jeff German Las Vegas 18 times a month after the murder. Further examination showed that Tellis had stored pictures from 13 days prior to German's death, including an image of Tellis' shoes matching that of a suspect seen in surveillance footage. The phone also revealed that Tellis downloaded a home security camera app 3 days after German's death and frequently visited the app between 10 p.m. and midnight. Additionally, Tellis' phone contained 132 pictures of various houses in German's neighborhood, images of German's vehicle and home address from a week before his death, and images of Google searches for German's personal information, including relatives and social security number. The court proceeded to take a recess with more witness testimonies to end day 4. More details to come.
More local stories coming up. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. A vehicle burst into flames after losing control in a police pursuit and crashes into an RV. News 25 has more.
Hi, I'm Sheriff McGill here to brief you on a vehicle pursuit that took place last night at about 11 p.m. The initial information was received from Metro Police that a vehicle was contacted at State Route 160 at the Red Rock cutoff, the Highway 159 at the gas station. When a Metro officer attempted to make contact with the vehicle fled westbound on Highway 160, and the Metro officer did not pursue. The Metro officer made contact with our dispatch and advised us that the vehicle had fled in the chance that we could come in contact with that vehicle. At about 11:20, the vehicle was found to be driving northbound on Highway 160 in the area of Mance. Deputy attempted to conduct a traffic stop on that vehicle, and the vehicle fled. A pursuit was initiated, which ended up down in the area of Barney and Highway 372. As they continued northbound on Barney, crossing Charleston Park, the vehicle lost control and crashed through a chain link fence in a front yard and into another yard into a travel trailer of some form.
Last evening, just after midnight, Pahrump Fire Rescue is dispatched for a report of a vehicle fire. While crews were responding, they were notified of a law enforcement pursuit. that resulted in a motor vehicle accident with the involved vehicle involved in fire. Within a very short fashion, the fire department was notified that, in fact, the vehicle had extended to at least one structure, and it was an immediate exposure to a two-story unoccupied structure and an advanced ground cover fire that was running to the north. Therefore, the assignment was retoned or redispatched for a structure assignment, adding additional resources. Our Engine 1 arrived in short fashion, and they commenced a defensive exterior attack on the structure and also exposure protection. There are no hydrants located in this particular area, so they had to wait for the water tenders to arrive to assist in ensuring a sustained water supply to suppress the fire. As crews quickly handled that incident, they protected the two-story exposure and neighboring exposures and controlled the brush fire before it could leave the property.
The passenger jumped out of the passenger side of the vehicle and was taken into custody by the deputy. The driver of the vehicle fled northbound. The driver was not located as a result of search, and the fire was put out and the vehicle was impounded. The driver was identified as a white female, approximately 5'4", and was last seen traveling northbound on foot. If anyone has any information related to the identity of this suspect, please call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000, or you can contact Nevada Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555. It is noted that there were no injuries to the two occupants of the vehicle, and the property that was crashed into and burned was an unoccupied residence. Thank you.
Well, the World Health Organization has recently said that the monkeypox virus is officially a concern in the public's everyday lives. Rory Rosell gives you the details on this story.
The World Health Organization has declared the ongoing outbreaks of monkeypox in Africa and the rest of the world to be a global emergency. Many people are questioning if monkeypox will trigger another pandemic. Scientists answer this question saying it seems highly unlikely since the most recent pandemics are the swine flu and COVID-19, which were typically sparked by airborne viruses that spread quickly, including people who may not be showing symptoms. Monkeypox is primarily spread through close skin-to-skin contact with infected people. The 2022 monkeypox outbreak in more than 70 countries slowed within months, thanks largely to vaccination programs and drugs that were made available. At the moment, the majority of monkeypox cases are in Africa, and 96% of those cases and deaths are in the Congo. More than 17,000 cases have now been confirmed in Africa. Currently, the United States has 1,399 cases of monkeypox since June of 2024, and there is 317 cases in Clark County since January of 2024. If anyone is looking to get vaccinated, you can visit the Southern Nevada Health District at snhd.info/monkeypox.
More news now. Both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are strategically campaigning across the nation. News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers now joins us with a campaign trail update.
U.S. President Donald J. Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are hitting all of the vital campaign stops, while President Trump is planning another massive Las Vegas rally for this Friday. Both the GOP and DNC presidential nominees are in full force on their campaign trails as we're only 77 days from Election Day on November 5th.
We know that many Americans don't yet feel that progress in their daily lives. Costs are still too high. And on a deeper level, for too many people, no matter how much they work, it feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. As president, I will be laser focused on creating opportunities for the middle class that advance their economic security, stability, and dignity. Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy.
The state's unemployment rate increased by 0.2% to 5.4%, according to the Nevada Department of Employment Training and Rehabilitation's July 2024 economic report.
Real incomes are down by over $2,000 a year. Think of that, minimum. And ours up 5 times that amount, more than 5 times that amount. Her price hikes have cost a typical household a total of $28,000.
The report also found that Nevada experienced a decrease of 1,500 non-farm jobs.
Prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%.
Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin function as this year's key swing states.
Is anything less expensive under Kamala Harris or No, it's been devastating. Inflation has been devastating under this group of people that have no idea what the hell they're doing. Are you better off with Kamala and Biden than you were under President Donald J. Trump? I don't think so.
President Trump has another Sin City rally scheduled for Friday afternoon. We will alert you of more details as they become available. I'm Maria Centers for News 25 Las Vegas.
Thank you very much, Maria. Great job as usual. This just in, Donald Trump will be visiting Nevada again this week, and I'm sure Maria will have that covered for us. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, sports news. Gardner Minshew will be the starting quarterback for the Raiders going into the season. Here's Mikey Ruhan with your look at sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. The Las Vegas Aviators dropped another one to the Oklahoma City Baseball Club last night, 6-3. Up next for the Aviators, they're off to Reno to play their in-state rival, the Aces, tomorrow. The Vegas Golden Knights will soon take their Los VGK brand south of the border. Los VGK and Mexico will bring hockey clinics all over Mexico, September 6th through the 10th. The Las Vegas Aces lost on Saturday, but they rebounded nicely on Sunday against the LA Sparks, beating them 87-71. Next up for the Aces, they welcome the Minnesota Lynx. Gardner Minshew will be the Las Vegas Raiders starting quarterback going into the season, Coach Antonio Pierce said on Sunday. Minshew beat out Aiden O'Connell for the starting spot. Raiders host the San Francisco 49ers on Friday in their final preseason game. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam is beautiful Mount Charleston, right outside the studios here in Pahrump, in a picture-perfect day to begin the week. But the temperatures are cooling off. Complete forecast in a bit.
Hello, I'm Kaylee Bentler in the News 25 Weather Studios, here with your daily weather report. Starting off for the region, in Fernley, we hit 92 degrees, Fallon 94 degrees, Carson City 87, Tonopah 90 degrees, Goldfield 92, Beatty at 101, Amargosa 106, Las Vegas 104, and Death Valley 117. But in the paradise of Pahrump, we're currently at 102 degrees and sunny. We saw a high of 104, winds in the south-southwest 10 miles an hour, humidity at 10%, and the sun rose at 6:05 and will set in the evening at 7:28. Expect humidity at 15%, winds east-southeast 9 miles an hour with a low of 77 and clear skies. For the rest of the week, we have a windy week. up until Friday, seeing highs of 18 miles an hour. And then getting back down, Saturday is a little chilly, 87, and then getting back up to 98 by Monday. And that's your look at the weather. Back to the desk, here's Chris.
Thank you very much. Kaylee, looking good later this week. Could be a little bit refreshing, and some may like that. That'll just about do it for us here tonight. For everyone in News 25, I'm Chris Palermo. Make it a great night.